We have a question from Andrew. I know a couple Andrews. I am interested in your thoughts regarding implementing easy strength principles for Highland Games. Do you believe that these principles can be applied to the throwing portion of training in addition to the weight room work? One of my favorite books on Highland Gaming is Mike and Mindy Pekowski's A Contrarian Approach to the Highland Games. I'd recommend you read what they talk about first. The mistake most young Highland gamers make, Andrew, is they think they're going to get it done in the weight room. During my best season, oddly, it's right here again. This is the 2003-2004 year. What I began to do, and it's not a terrible. I mean, give me two pieces of advice. If you're talking about what we call range throwing, that's when you pick a target. Well, in the discus we use a garbage can, but in the Highland Games that garbage can wouldn't last long. You put a target out there that's about 80% of your best throw, and you try to see how easy you can drop it into the hula hoop or the bucket or the circle you painted on the ground or whatever. And it's called range throwing, or it's called target practice in some places. And what you try to do is over time move that target out a little farther. Because remember, we're not trying to pull our max up, we're trying to prod from the bottom of our max up. So yes, you could just do that very simply by itself. That's actually a very good thing. I think you'd find it works really, really well with the Braemar, the heavy hammer, and the heavyweight for distance. Because what's going to happen is once you start to move your feet, I'm thinking the heavyweight, once you start to just move your feet and hold the position, you'll be surprised how much distance you get just by, kind of staying in the center of the storm instead of trying to, do all this stuff to it. With the heavy hammer, you're going to find yourself wind, release. Well, that goes really far. And you say, well, why am I working so hard to throw, 1 foot farther or 20 feet farther, whatever. One other thing I'd like you to think about is picking a day. Now, I used to do this. I only did it with the Braemar, the heavy hammer, the heavyweight, farmer walk. There was 5. I can't remember some, and a 5th event. And you go out there and you try to practice what it feels like to compete in a Highland game. Give yourself about 2+ hours to do this, where you get in there, you warm up. If you have to warm up for every event, you throw, don't try to make lifetime best. Try to get those 3 I need this mark throws. So in range throwing, you're about 80%. With this day, this drill, say like you throw 40 feet for the heavyweight for distance, generally need a 36 or 38 to be where you need to be. You would put something out there at that length. And how much do you have to light up to make those throws? I don't want you throwing the 40, 41. What do you need to be? Where do you need to be up here to throw that 36, 37 foot throw? And just try that. I found that really helped. I also did the track and field weight pentathlon. And one of the things I would do is I would change the implements, Andrew. So like one day I went, and instead of you throwing the standard 2 kilo discus, I did this in the weight pentathlon with the women's discus. Instead of throwing the hammer, I threw a chain hammer. I threw a 56-pound weight, a Highland Game weight, instead of the 35. But what I was trying to do was practice that weird tired that you have that in a Highland Games competition. I've competed in 7 events in a day, 9 events in some of the places. Jeff Loosely a few times had these days where I swear we did 13, 14 events. I remember one time it was the Battle of the Hammers, where we had to throw every single hammer for distance, three sets. That was a long day. That weird tired that you get at the end of a Highland Game has to be practiced. So in regards to easy strength principles, yes, and track and field athletes have been doing it for generations. The hard thing for you to get used to is the idea that not every throw is going to be your lifetime best. So you need to practice that. So what we're doing is we're practicing the intensities we need for superior performance. I hope that helps.